Grass-fed doesn't always mean what you think it does. And this week on Tallow Talk Tuesday, that is exactly what we're going to talk about. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm the maker and owner behind Menu Naturals, and I'm here to talk about something that I get asked about all the time, which is why I don't have grass-fed on our labels. And I'm going to go over why it doesn't actually mean what you think that it means. So I'm going to start with a personal story. When I first started with tallow and purchasing, I found this amazing company online. They did some amazing reels. I'm like, this company is so great. They have awesome reels. They have grass-fed tallow. I need to just get this. And so that's what I bought. And then I started doing some research that ended up making me make my own tallow because I was too nervous about trusting other people. What I later found out is that this company actually buys pre-rendered tallow. They don't render it themselves, which is totally fine. But the bucket itself says grass-fed on the side of it. So this company can claim that their tallow is grass-fed by the fact that the tallow that they get says grass-fed. Now, if I was to ask that company, where does their tallow come from? What cows do they come from? Where are they located? What type of fat is inside of that tallow? I don't think that they could actually answer those questions for me because they get it in bulk from a company. So in the skincare space, the term grass-fed is not actually regulated. It can be from just somebody getting tallow from online and saying it's grass-fed tallow. There's no regulations on who can put grass-fed on their products. So we do not make the claim here that we are grass-fed. And the reason being is that we actually source our fat from local farms. I am not an expert to say that they only feed their cows grass. So I'm not going to say that they're grass-fed. So to me, the term grass-fed is very overused. And so I don't want to put that on my own labels. Now, the biggest thing to me is knowing where my fat is sourced, how it's rendered down, and what fat is used, because I'm very picky on if it's trim fat or suet, because if it's trim fat, it's great for soaps, but if it's trim fat for my whipped tallow bombs, that's not going to fly because it's actually going to clog my daughter's pores and cause her to have more breakouts. So when choosing tallow, it's important to not focus on the label and the grass-fed. It is important to know where that tallow is actually sourced from, because that is going to be the biggest thing that you will need to know if you have super sensitive skin, because it could end up clogging your pores. Next week, I'm going to focus on big corporations buying up smaller tallow businesses and why this is important and why transparency really matters in the tallow space. All right, stay tuned for next week. If you have questions on this topic, please put them in the comments. And thank you for watching. Bye, everybody.